For you about somebody who has decided to get to the the truth of the matter. And even though it may have resulted in them having to kind of distance themselves from others, or, maybe not go to all of the parties everyone was throwing, maybe even um, investigate somebody that everybody likes. We have this hermit that has figured out the truth and knows who is at fault, and their comment is, I'm going to make sure that everybody knows. So I do think we have a person who, in general, is liked by people or has a pretty solid reputation, but they've been keeping a secret or hiding something from everyone. And this hermit is saying, well, I'm going to tell everyone. I'm not going to let everybody continue to see you the way that you want them to. I want them to know what you're really like. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time, or a lot. Sorry. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find it in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. And you can also find my Etsy shop in the description box if you're interested in the newest scent. I'm so obsessed with it. It's called Bad Habit, tobacco, coffee, and leather in that. And I love it. Otherwise, let's dive in. I think we will start with, we're going to go old fashioned. We're going to go with the Rider Waite or the Waite Smith. But I think we need just a little bit more candlelight, don't we? Oh, come on. Really? Do your job. Oh, and we also have a brand new Oracle deck. Thank you to the donor. Called Hard Truths. A fate-altering Oracle deck. 66 cards. So that'll be fun to use today as well. All right, let's see what else we've got. I tried to do an unboxing video, but I ruined it. So you don't get to see it. It's just going to stay in the archives. All right, what else do we have? The Sun and the Hierophant. This is a spotlight on someone who is seen as a leader or a pillar of the community, someone who may be a boss, maybe they're a judge, maybe they are, I don't know, a pastor. This is somebody who has a lot to lose if the truth about what they've been getting into comes out. And it's going to. 6 of Swords in the reverse, 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. They don't want to be associated with the things that they have been involved with or in, and they have put in a lot of effort to control how people see them. But no matter what they do, they cannot bribe this person into silence. 7 of Pentacles is in the reverse. I think people deserve to know who you really are, Hierophant, and no matter what you say or no matter what you do, I'm not going to be like convinced to keep this secret. Hello, AAA, how are you doing? Hello, Darnell. Hello, Pedro. How are we doing? This is a general tarot reading, AAA. What else do we have? 2 of Pentacles, a double life. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. But, those who think that they can carry on a double life without ever being observed, I think most of them end up being wrong. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have gotten away with it. That's fine. This Hierophant is not going to get away with it. There is a wrinkle in their plans, and it's because they get greedy. It's because they go too far. 6 of Wands in the reverse and the Queen of Wands. Alrighty. That 6 of Wands in the reverse is failure. This would be success. Maybe we have somebody who doesn't know how to refrain from bragging. Everyone thinks that I'm such a great person, but I have this like best friend I tell everything to, and that's the downfall. Or I have trophies, or I have pictures of me with people that I shouldn't probably be photographed with. Whatever it is, this Hierophant, they're exposed. And this Queen of Wands, I feel like this is their energy in terms of feeling like they are invincible. I don't normally see the Queen of Wands that way, but it's feeling to me like this is someone who kind of felt like the sun was always going to shine on them or the wind was always going to be at their back. This is someone who is a victim of the pride goeth before the fall saying. That's a loud Darnell. What else do we have? Death and the Knight of Swords. This is the Hermit energy. This is like Paul Revere energy, someone who's got an important piece of information and they're not going to let anything stop them. I feel like this is also a reference to, oh gosh, what is that? I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I think I can. YouTube is weird with their little rules, but I think it's called a dead man switch. There's something here about I have the information or the truth about this Hierophant, and it's in a safe place so that if something were to happen to me, that information still comes out. So even if the Hierophant feels like what they can do to keep their reputation intact is harm the Hermit, no, 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 my friend. That information is going to come out no matter what. Hello, Linda. How are you doing? What else do we have? The High Priestess. Magician in the reverse. And the Knight of Wands. This is going to start an argument or maybe a legal battle. Magician in the reverse and the Knight of Wands, because there's someone in particular that has been lied to. This could be a boss. This could be, the employees. This could be the parishioners. But the individuals who have been kind of taken for fools and told that this Hierophant was a good person or was, a pillar of the community, they're looking for pitchforks. There's frustration and like a fever pitch, right? I can't believe you would lie. I can't believe you would hide this. Off with their head kind of thing. All right, let's get a few from the Angel Tarot. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? That's true, Darnell. How old are they? I think aren't they like pretty challenging up until like maybe 6 to 8 weeks old? Well, even then, I suppose, probably some challenges too. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? What else do we have? Gabriel and Pahalia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm trying, all right? We have the Moon and the Queen of Cups. Divine revelation. Reveals messages, has the power to destroy. I told you, this is information that might result in someone getting canceled, might result in somebody getting fired, or even going to jail. But it has the power to destroy because it's the truth about somebody who is wearing a mask. Redemption. Serves against enemies of religion. Governs chastity. The Queen of Cups energy is a beloved energy. I feel like this Queen of Cups energy is that hermit. So perhaps no one believed the hermit for quite a while. Perhaps everybody was on the side of the Hierophant. But the hermit has receipts. I feel like it's video. It's like indisputable. It's not just, so and so said something. Four of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's like involvement here that is pretty significant, meaning over a period of time or multiple infractions. I'm not certain I'm going to say this name correct. Hahel. The Four of Swords, it says mission protects against slander and impious people. So the receipts, maybe initially the Hierophant is like, oh, that's just lies. None of that is true. You can't prove it. Okay. But they have receipts. This high and mighty person, the Hierophant, they can't speak against the receipts because they're solid. Intellectual talent and provides knowledge. It's the Eight of Pentacles. So this is that work over a long period of time that the Hermit has been involved in order to get to the truth. I think we need just another candle. It's been like not sunny for over a week and I'm gonna lose my mind, you guys. I want it to be nice outside, but it refuses. Is that getting light or not? Maybe? Okay, rejected. Does that help a little bit? Man, it is just dark in here. I don't know if that one would help. I think that's the one I want. Yes, I'm very picky about my candles. All right. Does that work? Now can we see? It's a little bit better. Hello, Grant. How are you doing? That's too funny, Grant. I have absolutely been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So that's super appropriate. I appreciate that. That's baseball. What else? We have Jalil and Rochelle. All right. Which would be the Two of Wands and the King of Cups. Love and wisdom, victory over those who would attack you. And restitution, finds stolen objects and discovers the person responsible. All right, so we have somebody who has taken something that is not theirs or taken something they have no right to apply for. Maybe it's like funds that should have gone to somebody more deserving. But this Hierophant is going to be, I think, questioned over what they've been doing, the legality of it. Where were you on the night of? Kind of thing. Hello, Gracie. What's up? Hello, actually, how are you doing today? Hello, Krish. Is it Krishan? How are you doing? Krishan, if you'd like me to do some, like pull some cards for you or answer some questions, you can attach your request to a super chat and I will add you to the list. And we're going to do the general reading for about another 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Hello, OJ. What's up? Hello, KN. What else do we have? This is Under the Oak. Another Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I think this is somebody who tries to bribe their way out of their problem. I see like clawing and scratching, trying to get their way out of like quicksand. But there's no one who can help this person. There's no one who is going to take that bribe or that chance to try to defend someone when these receipts are pretty extensive. Thank you, OJ. Let me add that for you. Will Abby contact me this week? I've added that for you. Hello, Christy. I hope you're having a good day. Feel free to add that to super chat. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing? So this is somebody who is being exposed. They wanted to hide what they were really up to. They wanted to make it seem like they were trustworthy or, like I said, pillar of the community. But this hermit, I don't know, maybe they're going to like the most important paper in the state or country. They got details that are indisputable that demonstrate this Hierophant has broken the law or stolen something that was, apparently not theirs. Queen of Wands in the reverse, Six of Cups in the reverse. I do think we have somebody who had previously been like friendly or maybe even married to the Hierophant. And this person is upset. So since I no longer feel like I have to be loyal to that Hierophant, I will provide some detail to this hermit to get the receipts that they need to prove what's up. Now, this doesn't have to be someone who is married. This could be someone who is a friend or worked with that person. Thank you, Gracie. Let me add that for you. Hello, Kumar. How are you doing? I'm guessing your dog wanted some food or some cuddles or a walk. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups in the reverse. I'll pay you big money if you can keep this quiet. Nope. I already have a book deal. Or I don't need your money. I don't care about your money. I think it's more important that people know that they should not support you or that you are, the villain in this story. We have someone with integrity. This hermit is saying, no, I don't care what you offer. I don't care what you say. You're a problem and people should know about it. Hello, Emily. How are you doing? Hello, Will. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry you're having some weird dreams. Just so you know, I do also have a second channel. I haven't really uploaded anything to it recently, but it is without ads intentionally, and it is just me reading from books like Dante's Inferno, so that might be helpful at some point too. What else do we have? Two of Wands in the reverse. Page of Cups in the reverse and the Wheel in the reverse. I'm seeing a bunch of people backing out from being associated with this Hierophant. This is cancel culture to me. I'm also seeing, I don't know if you all have ever played Monopoly on, I think it was on the Wii. But one thing I remember from that game is at the end of each round, it would show who was doing well and who had, maybe lost standing. And it would like shrink you or you would go up in value. And that's what I'm seeing is this person is losing favor with people around them, but also losing like money. I think because there are maybe lucrative partnerships that are going up in flames. Page of Cups in the reverse. People who are questioning this Hierophant and why they were working with them in the first place. But like I said, these receipts, they're solid. Can't really question them. I mean, you could, but it doesn't change their veracity. What am I going to do? I just feel like it's not getting bright enough in here. Hold on one second. Sorry. I don't know if that actually helped. It helped a little bit, I guess. Hello, Mr. Is it Nikit? How are you doing? Hello to Mike. I hope you're having a good day. Redbeard says I'm serious because I cracked the fingers. That's right. Don't you forget it. What else do we have? 8 of Pentacles. Empress in the reverse. And the Star. I do feel like we have someone who might be writing a book about this. That or the amount of receipts that they have compiled are gargantuan, extensive, overwhelming. There is a big supporter who had stood by this Hierophant in good times and bad, who is now explaining that they cannot in good conscience continue to connect with this Hierophant or support this Hierophant. So we have the Star, and I feel like this is talking about attention, right? Limelight. It could be we have a celebrity here. But it is very like public knowledge that somebody is no longer interested in working alongside this Hierophant. The Hierophant. I think someone's going to jail. But the thing is, there are people that they have paid off to avoid consequences who are also being exposed as problematic or having broken the law. So yes, the Hierophant is problematic. Yes, they are basically being exposed for breaking the law or lying about who they are or what they've been involved in. But there are people associated with them as well who are going to have consequences. All right, so this is the Witch's Tarot. A book about the Hierophant breaking the law. What else do we have? Ooh. The Universe in the reverse. Princess of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. I'm smiling because this is someone who really thought they were going to be able to keep everyone in the dark. They thought that they had, pulled off like the crime of the century, basically. Pride goeth before the fall. They felt like they had no reason to worry and everyone was just like going to continue to fawn over them. I do feel like this person had amassed a pretty significant wealth, but it's going to get chopped up and there's a big payout coming because someone broke the law. Hello, Charlabite. How are you doing? I am the law until she takes away my mod status. I don't know, man. I think you're doing pretty well, Redbeard. At the very least, you're funny. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Ten of Wands. There are multiple receipts, multiple, like, we know you paid this, or we know you were involved in that, or we know that you, broke the tax law here, or whatever it was. And even though we have someone who is seen as foolish or, you know, just negative, why do I feel like they found a place that housed all these receipts? I feel like this Queen of Wands in the reverse, Empress in the reverse, the person who was previously working with or connected to the Hierophant described a location, and the Hermit went off and found all of that detail. Because this Hermit individual is also the Fool, and the Fool has some piece of paper that they're looking at. I feel like it's that paper. This is what you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. Oh, yes, they are. So, given some lead or some insight from a person who used to be close to the Hierophant, the Hermit is able to determine exactly what happened and when and has proof of it. And as such, there is, I think, legal consequences and somebody going to jail and probably somebody having to pay out to people because they took something that wasn't theirs. Wow, there's the Hermit. The Hermit again. I found what I was looking for. I found the evidence that I knew I would find, even though everybody else thought I was crazy for looking for it. Everyone else believed in this Hierophant. Nope. I can prove it. So we have the Four of Swords and the Empress in the reverse. They're going to jail. Hello, Liana. I hope you're having a good day. Feel free to add your question to a super chat. What are you talking about, Lemonade? Hello, See the Gray. How are you doing? What else do we have? You guys, I keep forgetting that I have that new Oracle deck. I gotta put it like front and center so I don't forget it. All right, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. This is someone whose stock is falling. I have a bunch of money. I own a bunch of property. I don't know, that's like my 5th yacht, whatever it is. This person's losing money because of these consequences, because of the Hermit being able to prove what they've been up to. Oh, I got you. Liana, I do questions like that. Yes, feel free to add that to a super chat, or you can also donate a membership to somebody else in the live chat and I will pull some cards for you. I didn't curl my hair this morning and it's driving me crazy. What else? 5 of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Wands. Yeah, they're going to jail. They don't have any remorse over this either. They don't feel bad. And I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling hermits. They're going to jail. So I do think we have some resistance, some frustration, and I'm going to fight this, blah, blah, blah. But the writing's on the wall. The evidence is there. It all points to the Hierophant. Like, good luck. But sometimes people struggle to accept the new reality after they've been able to get away with so much for so long, right? Hello, OCX. How are you doing? Hey, Melissa. I'm not talking about anyone being an escort. Straight to jail. Do not collect $200. It's true. It's true. All right. This is that new Oracle deck. It's called Hard Truths. seems appropriate for a reading where somebody's getting caught for a pretty big crime. Perspective. Focusing on small details is causing you to miss the broader context. Step back and consider how it would fit into the overall narrative of your life. So this hermit, they were suspicious and kept having people say, no, there's no way. You know, like, look at who this person is. It's clear. And the hermit was like, no. I need to consider how this fits into the whole narrative, and then that enables me to figure out what's really going on. So we've got, thank you, Liana. Let me write down your question. Me and my lover are going to be more serious. I'm glad to hear that, OCX. Did I miss Matt? Where's Matt? Yes, I've added that for you, Liana. Thank you. There's Matt. Hello. How are you doing? What else do we have, please? Failure anxiety. Avoiding failure also means avoiding success. You're stuck in planning mode and your potential is locked away. Success is achieved by trying. So this hermit was told to go a certain path and they decided to do something different. Everyone told them that they were wrong, but they decided to go for it anyways. Poor investment. This venture will drain your resources without yielding worthwhile returns. Redirect your efforts to more aligned opportunities. They were told it was like a fool's errand to try to prove that this Hierophant was breaking the law. It was not. I do think that they might actually make some money off of this if they're going to be putting a book out. But I also think they were able to find what everybody else told them that they would not be able to. Self-sabotage. Your actions stem from fear and self-doubt. Consciously address patterns and behaviors by questioning the purpose they serve. Our Hierophant may have been able to avoid self-sabotage for a long time, but the problem was they got a little bit too big for their britches, or they felt like they weren't going to have consequences for their actions, and now they're realizing that this hermit was determined to get to the truth. And now that they have, they're able to prove what this Hierophant has actually been up to. So let's see if we get the, what is the card called? The one, imprisonment. I think it's called imprisonment. We have family room. Hello, Neon. How are you doing? Dang, that's a long bicycle ride, Matt. Hello, Noxious. How are you doing? We've got great fortune in the reverse. Somebody who is going to lose out on a lot of money. And I do feel like this Empress in the reverse is somebody that has dated the Hierophant. Someone who knows the Hierophant intimately. They may have a child together. But it's because of this proximity that the Queen of Wands in the reverse was able to document or point this hermit in the right direction. Here's what's going on. Here are the details that I know. You should be able to prove what this Hierophant was getting into, but I know that they were stealing something. And we've got sudden wealth. Yeah, this is somebody who was able to make a lot of money off of their shenanigans, and now we have this hermit being able to prove it. That's why they're so rich, or here's how they made their money. And now we have the Hermit. Their long hours or their, difficult research has finally paid off. Now they're able to prove what this Hierophant was actually doing. So they'll be exposed. All right, let's dive into those personal questions. We've got OJ, Gracie, and then Liana. For OJ, will Abby contact me this week? Will Abby contact OJ this week? No. Or at least pretty unlikely. And this is because we have someone who is feeling, it's like I'm doubting myself. So lack of confidence or questioning if now is the right time. Six of Cups in the reverse and Seven of Cups. I don't think this week is ideal unless there's some impulsive behavior, sudden stroke of courage. It looks to me like this is someone who's going to be kind of dwelling on some negative thoughts this week. But with the Seven of Cups, I feel like this is an illusion of some sort. Like they might have a tendency to see things as worse than they actually are. But I do still see the Eight of Wands. So I do feel like there is communication that is very likely after this next week. There's something that changes. And I feel like this boosts the confidence of Abby. Six of Pentacles and the reverse. There's something here that changes in the next couple of weeks that makes it so that Abby feels like there's nothing to lose. I might as well just try. Might as well just send out a message, see what happens. But I don't know that it would be in the next week. I feel like it would be after that. All right, let's see what we've got for Gracie. This is the Graffiti Tarot. Hello, Rick. How are you doing? I would very much so appreciate it, Rick, if you just call me Carmen. You're welcome, OJ. And what do we have for Gracie, please? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Eight of Wands. The Lovers and the Eight of Swords. There's someone who views you as a loss, something that they wish that they could reclaim, or someone they want to reconnect with. But this is someone who has struggled with their emotions. I don't feel like this person has been very communicative with you. You may not even know that this person has feelings for you. Does Gracie know that this person has feelings? No, I don't believe you do. This is someone who watches from afar. Is this creepy? It might be a little creepy. We have Justice and the Queen of Swords. I feel like if this person were to confess that they have an interest in you, you would not be interested. I don't think you find this person attractive, but they are consistently thinking about you. I do feel like it's important for you to, how do I say this? Eye contact is important. So you see how in the Queen of Swords, she's looking down? And then the Emperor, we have eye contact, right? Homie's just looking right at you. Gracie, I don't know if the way that you communicate with others is, oh, thank you for joining the membership. I appreciate that. I don't know if the way that you communicate is generally a little bit more like quiet, avoiding eye contact, but I feel like this is somebody who's gonna need to take you more seriously. So in other words, don't be afraid to be a little bit intimidating. I think it's bordering on creepy, whoever this person is. So if somebody is asking for your number and you're not interested, do not give some middle of the road answer like not today. I think you need to be painfully obvious that you're not interested in this person, and you need to make eye contact. You need to be very clear, thank you, but I'm not interested in that. I'm currently working and I would really like to be able to focus on that. I don't date customers, whatever it is, but you need to have eye contact with this person when they express interest, if they do. Because they're thinking about it. But if you are just kind of like, oh, okay, no, thank you, it's the wrong signal to this person, because then they're going to keep trying. You need to be very like, nope, not interested. Maybe you don't have to specify exactly why, but you do have to be like, them's the rules. I ain't gonna change my mind. Delete. Reject. Not trying to like break somebody's soul into pieces, but you do have to be very direct. Wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, even if you paid me $1 million. Get out. Very clear, because this is somebody who would take any little piece of information and be like, so you're telling me there's a chance? No, not a chance, even if you were the last person in the world. Now, we don't have to be a total jerk about it, but you do have to be very clear. All right. Oops. Let's see what we have for Liana. Yeah, dating apps are a little scary. Not $1 million though. Matt's thinking about it. It's a fine line, right? You got to find that balance, because I don't think it really helps anybody to crush someone's soul. But if they're going to be looking at it as like, oh, okay, so I just have to like word it differently next time, then the message was not received, right? Okay, let's see what we have for Liana. Will my lover and I be more serious? Will Liana's lover and Liana get more serious? I see at this point, you're dealing with somebody who is avoiding commitment. I do feel like there's been some sort of communication where this person explained, I'm not interested, or I'm not over this person, or I don't have the money, or moving away, whatever it is. I feel like this is a pretty significant wall that they have built around themselves. Why are they not interested? King of Swords and the Three of Cups in the reverse. I feel like this is somebody who knows that they are not very monogamous. I'm not getting like dishonesty from this person. The reference that I got was Hugh Hefner, who's probably a divisive figure. You don't have to like him, but at least I can respect that homie was honest about the fact that he didn't want to be in a relationship with one person. I don't know that this is the right decision for the person that you're dealing with, but I do feel like they get uncomfortable when they feel like they are just supposed to be with one person. I'm not trying to call them a hoe or anything, but I feel like this is somebody who wants to be able to walk away if they want to. Sorry if this offends, but the way I would liken it, or like an analogy I would choose, is some people have the money to buy a house, but they choose to rent instead, because then if they decide they need to leave, they can up and do it, right? This is someone who it's like they might have fear of missing out, or they just get really uncomfortable when they feel like they have to answer to someone. Is that going to change? It will eventually change, but it's not going to change because of you. I don't mean to say that as like a mean thing at all. I think you are a delightful person, but this is someone who has to come to that conclusion on their own. And the only way they come to that conclusion is when they realize that they're missing out on something of value because they're not willing to be in a relationship. In other words, you probably need to stop seeing this person. They will either break your heart because they're not willing to commit, or they are going to potentially learn because of your absence just how valuable you are in their life. But if you continue to be in their life as this like kind of halfway point or situationship, they don't feel motivated to change their perspective. Hello, Melissa. How are we doing? Thank you for the tip. Next 48 hours. I got that for you. Hello, Delinia. How are you doing? And, well, let me just ask, is there someone else out there that is, yeah, that's what I kind of felt. Two of Cups. This is the card that talks about love. There's someone else out there that already sees you as someone they would like go to the ends of the earth with, or for, either. But you risk missing out on this person because you're looking a different direction. So the current lover, probably not it, but there's someone else here who would offer you the relationship that you want, and I feel you would be interested in them too. The risk is you miss out on this because you are trying to get somebody else to change their opinion on relationships. We're talking about beet juice? That's great. Is he going to change for someone in his past? No, it would be someone new. Six of Wands in the reverse, Six of Cups. The people in the past are not the ticket or do not have the capacity to change him. So I see you being happy with somebody else, to be honest. This Two of Cups, this is somebody who like is crazy about you, and I feel that you're crazy about them. But this happens if you walk away from the lover. Hello, Javier. How are you doing? Hello, Yolanda. Feel free to put your question in a super chat if you would like. So if I could, you're making it? Hold on, let me see what we got. We got Melissa. We got the Earth and Bones Tarot for you, Melissa. And F King, which makes me laugh. Yes, do a greetings. Feel free to attach your question to a super chat. All right, so for Melissa, what is going to happen in the next 48 hours, please? The beet powder. You guys. I can't tell if you're being serious or not. What's going to happen for Melissa in the next 48 hours, please? Strength is tested and validated. So this is a temptation, perhaps. So maybe you're on a diet and you say no to, a third cookie. Maybe you are in a relationship and someone hits on you and you're like, hey, you're hot and everything, but no. I see there being a good choice made in the face of temptation. Is this Melissa's choice? Yes, this is your choice. It could even be like, man, I'd really like to punch that person in the face, but I'm not going to choose violence today. This is something that demonstrates that you have, in fact, healed from a previous iteration of yourself or version of yourself. You know, like 5 years ago, me would have slapped you. You would have forgotten your name. But I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to let you try to work that out on your own. You choose the right path in the next 48 hours. Six of Wands in the reverse. Judgment in the reverse. Two of Swords in the reverse. It's a good thing that you make that choice too, because I feel like you might not realize just what kind of consequences would be waiting for you if you did make that other choice. This is like, man, I'm really glad that I decided not to drive drunk because there was a cop standing right next to my car. There's something here that you're like, oh, okay, I definitely made the right choice. Excellent. Good for me. You know? Hello, Lee. How we doing today? I hope you're feeling well. Absolutely. Let me add that for you. Just beat it. Oh, that's awesome, F King. Hello, Sayur. How are you doing today? Love predictions for me and colleague L. Intentions and thoughts. And predictions for week ahead. I got you. Hello, Ronnie. Oops. Thank you again, Gracie. Let me add that for you. What's coming in love? Hey, Ronnie. I would much prefer if you say hello, Carmen, versus beautiful. Maybe that's just me, but that is my preference. Yes, Rachel, we are on the personal questions. Liana, I've moved on to the other questions. If you'd like me to add more, feel free to do another super chat. Melissa is asking, will things get better for me? I certainly hope so, Melissa, but let's take a look. Get better. All right, so we've got Lee, and then Sayur, and then Gracie, and then Melissa again. So what do we have for Lee, please? What does Lee need to know? Oops, hold on. Let me get a different tarot deck. Silly me. Thank you, Sayur. Need to know. I've added that for you. No problems, Rachel. I hope you're having a good day. What do we have for Lee, please? What does Lee need to know? Two of Pentacles in the reverse, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, Page of Wands, Ace of Swords in the reverse. This feels to me, Lee, like we have someone realizing that maybe they're being a little bit unrealistic. Is this the hubby? Okay, so we have a change, like a realization that maybe I was a little unfair coming from the hubby. Is this something that happens as a result of a conversation with Lee? No. Is this something that happens on his own? Yes. And it could be, you know, influence from somebody else having a conversation, or I'm watching a TV show or listening to a song. But I see the husband realizing maybe I need to take a bit of a chill pill. Maybe I need to be a little bit more relaxed or a little bit less likely to make accusations. With the Nine of Wands, it's like, okay, I might have gotten like a little defensive or a little bit like out of pocket, right? So is there going to be an apology? Really? So this seems more so like we got somebody who's going to like slowly slip back into being like nice and chill, but maybe is not going to apologize. See, me, if I feel like I was out of pocket or I said something that was rude, I'm going to apologize. Like yesterday when I made an arse of myself, got lippy with a dude named Albert, and then realized it was not appropriate. And then I apologized. This is it's like, hey, you want to like apologize for being a turd bucket, or are you just like embracing that turd bucket status? I'm curious. I do feel like this is like, I know what I did was wrong. I need to like shape up or ship out. I need to change my stance on this, but apparently the apology is like asking too much. Is that going to change? So we have someone stubborn, apparently. But hopefully, at least we got some acknowledgement like, I did something I shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't act that way. So, presumably, we at least have some change in behavior, right? I guess we could take that. I personally feel like you deserve an apology, but like, okay. The realization is an important step. The realization that, should be acting a little bit better than that. Hello, Callan. How are you doing? Hey, what's up, Tiana? I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Envy. What's up? Hello, Carnation. Feel free to put your question in a super chat and I will add you to the list. So for Sayir, we have, what are the love predictions for Sayir and the colleague with the letter L? Okay, I don't know if this is going to be a reference that lands for everybody, and I'm a little bit nervous because I don't want it to be offensive. But what I saw in my mind's eye, Sayre, is the redheaded chick from Wedding Crashers. And some of you are going to be like, oh, okay. But she's the one who was like, if you try to leave, I'll come find you. Little bit of like stalkery vibes. But we have the Two of Cups. This is love energy. So, yes, I think we have some obsessive energy here. Yes, I think there is somebody who's falling in love. I do feel like if you want this to work out, one of you is going to have to change the working situation. Hello, August. How are you doing? Hello, Carrie. I hope you're having a good day. But there is definitely affection. There is physical attraction. And I feel like you can make this work. But there is an asterisk here that there's going to be some potential for jealousy. And it's really important to have established boundaries and rules of engagement. So what I mean by that is, okay, so we're going to be in a relationship, then I need to know what is acceptable behavior and what is not acceptable behavior. What are we entitled to get upset about and what is like, go a little too far, right? So I think things can work out, but you have to have a conversation about what works and what doesn't. What are the intentions from L, please, towards Sayir? There's instability here. And there's impatient energy. I don't know if I like that. Like, I feel like there's love. I feel like there is desire. But I feel like this person's a little bit difficult. Sometimes We encounter people who actually really feel safer or happier in a situation where there is toxicity or drama. And that is usually because somebody has grown up in that kind of environment that feels safe to them versus things not happening, right? So, Sayur, be careful, because I feel like you have to be a fan of that kind of relationship if this is going to work out. Because I will tell you right now, this is someone who's going to accuse you of doing things that you have not done. This is someone who's going to doubt you when you have, in fact, been like loyal or reliable or amazing. So the question is, can you deal with that? Can you put up with someone who's going to be a little bit like out there? You'll have an exciting life. You'll have a lot of stories to tell, but life will be a little bit of a roller coaster. So if you can hang, then okay, but like put your seatbelt on. Otherwise, you might get tossed from the car. What are the thoughts from Elle? Page of Pentacles in the reverse and the Three of Swords. This is someone who needs to heal from something that happened in their childhood. Period. End of story. I see a lot of investing in a relationship, putting emotions into it, and then freaking out and starting a fight. Is this a pattern learned by a parent or from a parent? No, this is from a previous relationship. Probably a formative, like the first relationship that Elle would have been in. And I also feel like this is tied to passion. This is somebody who likes to start a fight before starting intimacy. Like, let's do it, but like I want to be mad at you for it. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But there's some fireworks around this one. So caution. Yield. And what about predictions for the week ahead? Good news coming in quick. There's success, even as you felt like something was difficult or maybe even not going to happen. Yes, there are problems and obstacles or some sort of, I thought this was going to work, but then it didn't. But I see you being able to turn things around. So you have good news or success tied to work. Now, this could be like you doing a remodel at your place, but I feel like it's probably your actual like profession. And what else does Sayur need to know, please? Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Two of Pentacles. As you make decisions regarding your finances, please take into consideration what you need for the long term. In other words, you may not realize that there is an expense that's going to pop up over the next several weeks that could be a little bit frustrating, or it could put other things at risk. So if you know how much you need to be able to pay towards bills, add a little bit of cushion. Do not leave yourself shortchanged, or make sure you have a decent amount of savings. Anticipate that there could be an expense that is higher than you originally thought. Because we do have someone who may be doing some price gouging, or somebody who feels like an inconvenience fee should be something that you have to pay as opposed to their responsibility. I feel like someone's passing on a charge to you. I hope that's helpful, Sayur, and I'm sending you protective energy. Gracie, you are up next. Do you just have one, or was there a second, or I should say a third one? The confusion may be because I added Sayur's onto the first comment or super chat from Sayur, but we've got Gracie up next and then Melissa. So for Gracie, what is coming in love? This is the Cats Rule the Earth Tarot. What is coming towards Gracie in love, please? King of Cups, someone who's emotionally available and emotionally mature. But the issue is there's... That's so perfect. See how we have 3 cats that look very similar? This is like, what is that? Was it called Love Connection? Like when you have 3 suitors, but they literally look the same, right? You're going to have a few choices in love, and I feel like initially you're just kind of like, I don't know what to choose because you all look the same or you all have the same attributes. That one. Like, just get a dartboard, you know? You have, I think, 3 suitors who are interested, and you've got to be able to find which one is the King of Cups. Look at what's in the cups on this card. It's hilarious. Like, would you like a cardboard box? Maybe a feather? How about a ball of yarn? So you're going to have 3 choices, okay? One of them is legit. One of them is like, yeah, you're date worthy. But you got 2 of them that are not, and you got to be able to figure it out. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. See, there's that ball of yarn. But the 10 of Pentacles is in the reverse because there is definitely someone here who is just looking for physical intimacy. We have the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. I do feel like we have someone who is lying about their finances. This could be lying about whether or not they're in, if they're actually employed or if they're dealing with a bunch of debt. We could also have someone who's lying about whether or not they're really single. So the advice here is do not be too quick to make a decision because you want to make sure you're finding this King of Cups. Yeah, there's 3 of them. And I definitely feel like one of them is just looking for physical intimacy. So I don't think they're going to be very... I don't know that you'd be able to talk to this person and get that out of them. I don't know that you have to meet them, but I feel like it could be something along the lines of telling a story about somebody doing the physical intimacy on the first date and seeing how they respond to it. You know what I mean? Like making it about someone else. They might be more likely to admit that they are a player indirectly. Like making a comment on it, and then you'd be like, oh really, so that's how you feel. That contradicts with what you said 6 hours ago. Someone is trapped because of a story that you tell about a friend or a family member, and then they betray that they actually are probably just a garden tool. 3 of Wands in the reverse. But there's someone here who is patient. Someone who does not get pushy about seeing you in person and genuinely wants to get to know you. And that is your King of Cups. That is the person that you are meant to connect with. Yes, so make sure it's someone who's not pushy. Hello, Ventura. Welcome to the live chat. Feel free to add that to a super chat if you want me to add it to the list. Hello, David. How are you doing? I hope so too, Gracie. All right. Next up, we have Melissa. And this is the Shadowscapes Tarot. Did I say hello to Third Eye? Hello, Third Eye, just in case I didn't. Hello, Tiffany. Oh, look, it's you again. What else do we have? Will things get better for Melissa? Yes, because you're a fighter, because you don't give up. There are people who have faced the adversity that you have faced and they have given up, or they have chosen to, have a chip on their shoulder. But I see you being able to navigate this much better. I'm not going to waste my time on your demonic stuff. Proceeds to waste her time on my stuff. Interesting. I'm not going to do what I just did. Sorry. That's funny to me. It is going to get better for you, but it is important, Melissa, that you remember how strong you are and what you've gotten through. This has a bunch of different foxes, right? Leaping through the air. And then there's this person that you almost don't even notice because you have all these other foxes or other beings. Yeah, you have fought through a lot of difficult things. You have experienced betrayal and disappointment, but it has made you stronger. Wear it as a badge of pride. Because instead of just saying that you're not going to waste your time on stuff and then doing it, you actually don't waste your time. You're learning to be more yourself, stronger. So even though it might feel like it's just never ending, it is going to be peaceful for you soon. We have this Four of Swords with the Hierophant. So stay true to what you have learned. Do not give in to temptation or go back to difficult situations that you've overcome in the past. But I see there being a peaceful... Is this the summer? No, I feel like this is more so fall time. So you have a couple more weeks, maybe several weeks of some frustrations, but I see things calming down for you like August, September, October timeframe. It's important though to make the decisions that back up like what you've actually learned, because I do feel like you have a difficult decision in July. And it could be emotional distance or a breakup or separating yourself from someone that you used to call a close friend. But this is an important decision that helps that peaceful era happen for you. Eight of Wands in the reverse. It's important to speak about the things that you may have been kind of avoiding speaking about. Because I do feel like you've been treated unfair. And you might not be able to convince someone to treat you better, but you can remove yourself from the situation. Hello, Stephen. How are you? Hello, Hayden. What's up? Hello, Juin. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm hungry though, so I gotta leave it there. Thank you everyone for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Um, yeah, you deserve better, Melissa. I'm sending you a big ol' hug. I'm breaking the internet. Um, and if you get a chance, go check out my candles. I'm super excited about the newest scent. And I will see you in the next reading. Toodles.